What's up, guys? Toy Bro back again for another Marvel Legends review, and we're taking a look at the second HASCON exclusive I was able to get a hold of. This is the Uncanny X-Force Deadpool. Pretty much the same figure, just a repaint with some slight changes that we'll go over. We've got the normal box. They didn't do anything special for packaging for this guy, which honestly is kind of a bummer. I wish they would have done something a little special like they did with Rex in the Black Series, but whatever. At least I don't have to keep this box now. So he's in our window. We've got some artwork on the side. We've got a product shot on the back as usual. And that same artwork again. So nothing crazy, nothing we haven't already seen before. So let's pull him out. All right, guys, here he is. And this is essentially the same figure that we got in the initial X-Men wave, but there are some differences, and that's mainly what I'm going to talk about. I mean, if you've seen this figure in the original form, you know what to expect. He's on a pretty standard Legends body, so there's not tons to talk about. I mean, articulation is pretty much what you'd expect. He has the standard stuff for a Legends figure. The big thing for me is that he's in this costume. This is my, right now anyway, my preferred look for Deadpool. I love the Uncanny X-Force look. I'm a huge fan of X-Force. It's easily my favorite Marvel team of all time in most of its incarnations, so I've got a soft spot for him. Deadpool's not really my favorite character, though. I don't get into him like everybody seems to. You know, everybody's on the Deadpool bandwagon these days, and he's just not... I mean, he's cool, but he never really did it for me. I liked him when he was originally introduced in X-Force way back when. That's still one of my favorite issues. I've got a couple copies of that somewhere in the house. But this is a pretty decent figure, and I mostly want to talk about just what makes him exclusive. So he is, like I said, for 5 or 6 times already, he's in his X-Force outfit, which is mostly the same as what he has in the normal figure, but obviously he is black and gray this time instead of black and red. And there are a few changes, and we'll kind of go over those here in a second. But as far as the figure itself goes, just thinking of him as a whole, I think he's pretty cool. Like I said, this is kind of my favorite look for him, at least right now, until maybe they change him up down the line. I think he's got some kind of oddball accessories, which we'll talk about as well. But as far as the base figure goes, if you are satisfied with the first figure and you don't really care about X-Force, you probably don't need to get this guy. But if you got to have this look, or you've got to have everything Deadpool, this is pretty good. So let's pull the original figure in, and we'll do some comparisons, and then we'll look at accessories and all that stuff. All right, so here they are side by side, and the base figure, like I said, is the same. Paint is different, obviously, that's the big thing. But there are other nuances that are different between the two figures. So they have the same backpack for the sword sheaths. They have different belts. So the original one has a holster for a pistol, and it's also got some sculpted on grenades. This Deadpool does not have that. He has a different belt, which does not have any holster or grenades. And I'm going to knock this guy over. Stand up. We've got the Deadpool logo on this belt. We've got an X logo on this belt. They have the same leg holster and pouches. Those are the same. They're just different color, obviously. So we've got black versus brown. They have different forearms in that the X-Force one does not have the gauntlets. And then they've got different feet. This Deadpool has boots with buckles. This one just has standard feet. So he has a smaller footprint too. It doesn't make him any easier or harder to pose, I don't think. And then this Deadpool has different shins altogether because they have the shin guards. And he's also got a knife sheath, which this guy does not have. So in that regard, I prefer this figure because I've said it 100 times at this point. I love figures that have places to put all of their accessories. So this Deadpool can hold a pistol and 2 swords in his sheaths, whereas this Deadpool can hold 2 swords, 2 pistols, and a knife. So, you know, if you want to load him up, this is your guy to go with. But I still prefer this look overall. So let's take a look at this Deadpool's accessories, and then we'll take a look at, you know, what's different and what's similar between the two in that regard as well, because there's a lot going on there too. Here's his accessories all kind of laid out. So there's a few differences between what the original figure has and what this guy has. Some repaints and then some differences altogether. So we've got his 2 swords. We've got this kind of big blaster rifle. That is a reuse. It's just repainted black and red instead of just straight silver. These 2 guns are new. They're kind of a futuristic type design. They kind of look more like pistols Cable would have rather than Deadpool. I don't know if I'm going to use them or not, but they are different. I think they might be unique. I don't have any guns like this that I know of. We've got the bazooka back this time. So the previous one was green and it had a punching glove. This one is black and says boom with some Deadpool logos for the O's on it. And then it has a removable blast effect. So these have come with Iron Man figures. I actually don't have any of these because I don't really have any Iron Man figures. But that's kind of a nice effect. I like that. We've got the unmasked Wade Wilson head, which is the same head. Looks good. Not a lot of nice gruesome sculpting going on there. We've got the knife, but of course he has no place to store it this time. We've got the taco back, and then we've got this gun, which he comes packaged with in the leg holster. And I'm assuming the point of this is that it's supposed to be a toy gun because it's blue and it has an orange tip. So, you know, that's how toy guns are these days. It's the same gun that the other figure has. This is just the only one he comes with. So let's pull the other one in now, and we'll see how they kind of stack up with each other in terms of all their loot. All right, so here they are next to each other. We've got all of X-Force Deadpools on the left and all of the X-Men Deadpools on the right. And it may look like this guy has more, but that's because, like I said, this guy has a lot of places to store things. So we've got the same, again, I'll just go over it again. We've got the same blaster rifle, it's just repainted. I think I prefer the red and black one, but I figure it goes better with this one. We've got the bazooka with the punching glove versus the repulsor blast. We've got these two guns that are unique. Same heads, same tacos. They have the same knife. Deadpool's is in his sheath here. This Deadpool has two pistols that match this pistol, but he has a place to store them. And then he has the kind of Tommy gun looking gun here. And then they both have two swords. So they have pretty much the same amount of stuff. It's just slight differences in terms of what they have. I do, again, prefer this Deadpool in terms of the fact that he can just store his stuff on his figure. I hate having to put things in bags and, you know, put them in a drawer somewhere. I like to be able to have a bunch of stuff. So this guy right now, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 accessories on the figure and 3 left over. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4 with a room for a 5th and then 5 left over. So they have the same amount of stuff. You just have to pick and choose how you want to display them. Overall, I mean, I do like this X-Force Deadpool. He is, again, my favorite depiction of Deadpool. I love that arc of the storyline. I love this look for Deadpool. I just prefer some things about this one more and prefer things about the others more. So it's mostly that I like the look of this figure better, but I like the, you know, additional pouches and holsters on the original figure just to be able to store stuff. But they are underneath almost the exact same figure with a few differences for those little armor pieces that the original one has. So if you need this Deadpool figure, then obviously you got to get him. If you don't necessarily have to have this look, I'd say you can probably skip him because he's fetching stupid prices on eBay now since he's long gone. So that's going to do it for this look at the HASCON exclusive X-Force Deadpool. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And until next time, everyone.